What if the voice guiding your choices isn't the one you think it is? Not every open door in your life is meant for you to walk through. In John 10, Jesus says his sheep know his voice and they won't follow a stranger. So if you're feeling pulled in different directions, the question is, whose voice are you really listening to? Jesus shows us in John 10 how true shepherds are led by God and false shepherds are like thieves and robbers. He said, "Most assuredly I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he who enters the door is the shepherd of the sheep." The Pharisees and spiritual and political leaders were often called shepherds back then. So Jesus was showing how they gained their place through personal and political connections, ambition, manipulation, and corruption. A true shepherd comes the legitimate way, through love, calling, care, and legitimate service. That is, sacrificial service. Jesus said the true shepherd calls his sheep by name and leads them out. This shows how the shepherd has a true personal connection with his flock. The shepherd leads them and provides leadership and direction, but without driving the sheep. I mean, we still have free will to choose what we want to do. But Jesus said, "I am the door of the sheep." And this was profound because back then the sheep pens were only made with one singular door, one entrance. The door for the sheep pens was the shepherd himself. He would literally lay himself across the entrance to keep the sheep in and the wolves out. Shepherd was in fact the door. Jesus said, "All who have come before me are thieves and robbers." Thief implies trickery and deception, and robber implies violence and destruction. These things take away life, but Jesus gives life, and he gives it abundantly. The thieves and robbers are the con men and muggers of the spiritual world. Jesus said, "I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly." So the Greek word for abundance is perissos, and it has a mathematical meaning and generally denotes a surplus. Abundant life is a life of satisfaction and contentment in Jesus. Most people miss that when Jesus called himself the Good Shepherd, it directly ties back to promises made in the Old Testament. In Ezekiel, God condemns Israel's leaders for not caring for the people, the sheep. And God said he himself will come down to shepherd his flock. He also said he would set up a shepherd like David to come and lead them. So when Jesus says in John 10:11, "I am the Good Shepherd," he is fulfilling both of those parts. He is God, and he's tending to his flock. And he's also the promised son of David. That's why the Pharisees get so angry. They know exactly what he is claiming. So in John, where Jesus says no one can pluck his sheep out of his hand, it echoes what is said in Isaiah. Isaiah 43:13, "No one can deliver them out of my hand." A phrase that was only used of Yahweh himself. So the hidden depth is Jesus is identifying himself as the Yahweh of Ezekiel and Isaiah. Not just a teacher, but the very God of Israel, keeping his ancient promise to shepherd his people. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I gained almost 80,000 followers since those ChatGPT videos that I made, and I'm trying to be a good shepherd of those followers through Jesus Christ.